Hey everybody, my name's Eric Hansen, and if you know me here, you probably know me most as a hiking and backpacking YouTuber. But I thought that it was about time that I share a little bit more of who I am. So I thought I would talk about some of the aspects of my life that I haven't really done a lot of time publicly sharing about. I did want to start this off with something that is not super foreign to people, but it is kind of a baseline for anybody who's relatively new here on the channel. I spent about 8 years working for another production company called Heliconia, where I really got my start in media and the outdoor adventure business. I had been a guide and I got kind of picked up or discovered, if you will, by this production company. And for the next 8 years, up until last summer, I was producing content on Backpacking TV, which was another YouTube channel. And I was also making a television show called Epic Trails. Super awesome time in my life and super thankful for what that experience was. And it really gave me an amazing foundation to move forward into what I'm doing now. Most of my YouTube content has been around the topic of backpacking gear, going on trips, talking about new items. Of course, you can imagine that there's more to my tale. So I wanted to dive into a little bit more about who I am. First of all, travel has been one of the biggest and most important things in my life historically. Just dating back to when I was in high school, I took my first trip to Spain, and that really opened my eyes to this extra side of the world, a new side of the world, if you will, and that there was more to life than what I was experiencing in the US. I spent a few summers going back and forth to Spain, where I learned Spanish. And I've become pretty fluent in Spanish over the years of my travels. And now I've been to, I believe the tally is finally over 100 countries. So I've traveled a lot in my life. And that has been something that I have truly invested in many ways. After college, I graduated and I spent a year traveling. I kind of, in a way, rejected the more traditional path in life. I'd gotten a business degree in college, a business and finance degree of all things, and I was scheduled to interview with, potentially take jobs with Vanguard, which is a investment company, and something in me felt like, I just don't want to do this. This didn't feel right. It sat wrong with me. And I heard about this opportunity to do a volunteer trip where I would go and work in like 13 different countries over the course of the year. And it was an incredible experience. It opened my eyes to so much. I spent a lot of my time in countries that are not exactly tourist spots. Travel has been one of the biggest parts of my life. I've done the trip after college where I spent a year traveling around to a bunch of different countries. At another time in my life, I quit the job that I was in and I bought a one-way ticket to South America, and I just traveled the length of the Andes by myself.
This doesn't look like a good idea. We're on a bus on a boat. Yeah.
First of all, this was something that I'd always wanted to do, and second of all, it was part of my goals to gain work and to do something interesting that would help set me apart as a photographer, as a freelancer.
This is the windiest place I've been so far!
So I booked a one-way ticket to Quito, Ecuador, and I spent the next 7 months traveling down the length of the Andes, doing a ton of trekking, climbed a couple big mountains, did loads of trekking around Peru and Patagonia and Chile and Argentina. I love the way travel opens up eyes and kind of reorients myself. I've had this long-standing philosophy on life around travel, that travel is one of the things that really reorients us, resets us, all of these things that we tend to focus on through social media and sometimes careers and the workplaces that we're in, that sometimes just end up feeling so superficial. And yet when you go and you travel and you just are like, oh, this is what matters in life.
Yeah! Everywhere it's so beautiful! The world is freaking awesome!
I've got chills right now. This is so amazing. I am going to be hosting a trip for other group travelers. So for anybody who's interested in having an experience like that, I'd love to travel with you. I've got a group trip coming up in April to Peru, and that one has sold out, and so I decided to do another one to Patagonia. A group of people are going to be going and hiking through Glaciers National Park, which is truly one of the gems of South America. It's a place that I spent some time in the winter and went backpacking to these places on my own in a snow-covered scenario, and it was wild and it was exciting, and I've always wanted to go back. And this is an opportunity for not only for myself to go and explore this place with new eyes and with fresh eyes. I get to travel with up to 20 other individuals, such as possibly yourself. And if you're interested, I'm not gonna share too much more about the trip at this moment, but if you're interested in doing that trip with me, I would love to see you there in Patagonia this coming November, and check out the link in the video for more details on the trip. That might not be super hard to guess that I've done a lot of travel, especially if you've followed me from my Epic Trails days, where it was my job to go travel around the world and to explore great trails. But something that is totally different and probably not many people know about me is that I really love woodworking. As a kid, I really wanted to be a carpenter, and as I've gotten older, I've kind of fallen in love with woodworking again. And one of the things that I've gotten really interested in is epoxy tables and making my own furniture. I recently completed a really cool coffee table that I made out of some local alligator juniper that survived a fire. Really love how it turned out. Super fun project. I've built my desk that I'm working on out of some wood and epoxy, and it's just something that I really love doing. One of the reasons for saying some of these things is because potentially I might be interested in showing you all some of these projects that I like to work on, some of those woodworking projects. So if you have an interest and you're like, whoa, I would love to see a woodworking project, give me some encouragement and support by leaving a comment below saying, yeah, do it. I would love to see that. Because I've so much of what I've been creating and have known for is around backpacking and hiking and camping, that it feels a little weird to all of a sudden throw in a video where I make a coffee table. But it's something I love, and it's something that I will probably dabble with making some kind of different style of videos here in the near future. On the same front, a big goal that Christy and I, my wife Christy and I have, is to buy some land and to live off-grid. One of the things that we're super interested in is an alternative style of living in something called earthships. Now, my wife Christy got an opportunity last summer to volunteer and work on a local earthship that was being built, and it was really amazing to see this project go from, nothing to a big structure in a matter of 1 month. And it's not finished yet, but she's going to be going back. We're probably going to live on that property this coming summer to help take that project to a little bit closer to completion. I will have a video about stage 1 of that project coming out soon. But one of the things that we would, in our longer term vision for our lives, is to buy land and to document building our own earth home. Part of that, is if this YouTube journey, if it allows me to do that and to make videos about a topic that I love and kind of fund that lifestyle, is something that would be truly, truly rewarding, and just, it would mean a lot to me. So again, same type of thing. If you're interested in some alternative living, in earthships, in off-grid living, in construction, in carpentry, I would love to hear from you, to just leave a comment with some form of support. Not that I need your permission, but it would make me be like, oh, cool, people want to see this. Great, let's make some fun videos and sharing about that. And the last thing that I wanted to talk about that many people probably don't know here is my very first bit of work in the outdoor industry was actually as a wilderness therapy guide. So I mentioned that I did this big travel experience right out of college, and I happened to meet a woman. We got married, and unfortunately, it was not the longest lasting marriage. We were married about 3 years, ultimately got divorced, and I was in a rough spot in my life. And so I ended up moving out to Utah, took a job in wilderness therapy, and ended up having this truly life-changing work experience where I essentially got paid to go to therapy. And it was an incredible opportunity for me to learn really a lot about being an outdoorsman, a lot about guiding, a lot about outdoor leadership. It was just the most wonderful change in my life that really set the table for all of these other things to come. While I was out there, I became a gear tester for Backpacker Magazine. I made a video for them that ended up catching the eye of this production company.
I'm also a bit of a gear junkie. My house overfloweth with gear.
They reached out to see if I wanted to host Epic Trails and make backpacking TV. And it kind of brings this whole tale full circle. And that was my tale of getting started, becoming, a content creator, becoming a TV show host, and now ultimately going off on my own. I left that job last August and have been here on YouTube doing my full-time thing. And it's been such a joy. It's been exciting. Of course, it's been a challenge. It has its stresses. Some nights I just stay up wondering how it's all going to work. And other nights I'm just like amazed at this community that's been building here, amazed at the support, the encouragement, as well as just the way that YouTube itself has somehow, it's even possible to run a business as a YouTubing content creator. So I'm super grateful for what this place is, for my connection to you, and I am excited to continue to grow that this year and beyond. And I would love to keep hearing from you. It is my goal to answer as many questions and comments as I can. I have been traveling a ton, and so I haven't been as good at keeping up with responding to comments as I would ideally like. But that being said, please, I love hearing from you. It means so much to me. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed to me, I would love to see this community continue to grow. If you have other questions, please hit me up, and I am just thankful for this journey that I'm on and that you're a part of it. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Eric Hansen. I'll see you later.